I feel as if a lot of men in this world end up miserable for not living their truth path. I feel as if a lot of men end up miserable because they are following the path someone else has set for them. As in a parent, a girlfriend, some type of role model, they are miserable for a lot of the years and don't even know it. And a lot of times when they finally figure out why they're miserable, if they even do at all, it's oftentimes too late for them to go back and fix it. They're already 40, 50s, 60 years old, and they're resentful for not going on a path they actually wanted to do originally. I feel like in today's generation, this is maybe being caught more early on, and I am thankful that I have been able to catch it early on. It's easier to be caught early on because of the day and age we live in. We have YouTube and social media, and we have sources to tell us these things and think about what we're doing with our lives. We're having people actually put into our ear, hey, are you really going to go do this for the rest of your life without vetting it, not thinking about other options you may be able to go into? And then in the 80s and 90s, when people were actually choosing their careers, they really didn't have much to go off of. A lot of times people were just raised on, go to university, get a good job, get a good high paying job. I see this with my doctors, and he's a younger guy like myself. I'm 23 and I think he's like 24, and he's an MD right now. He's getting his residency, and I'm a talker. I like talking to people. I like learning about people. I'm just asking him about what he's doing, because he's a doctor, and that always makes me curious. Like, what makes someone want to be a doctor? What kid is like, yeah, I want to be a doctor when I grow up, and actually goes through with it? It's either one, a person of passion, or it's either two, they were brought up on the idea of you're going to go to school and you're going to get a great career. I was asking what he was doing there. He told me he was in residency, and for those of you who aren't familiar with what residency is, it's basically like sort of an intern as a doctor. You are basically learning under and attending and just learning how to be a doctor. He was finishing up his residency internship at this one place, and I asked him what he wanted to do, and he really didn't seem too sure of himself. He goes, man, I haven't got that far. Sorry, I can't even remember his name. I feel bad. But how are you gonna go through 10 years of medical school and not be the type of person to think in decades? I mean, I understand not being the type of person to think in decades, but if you're a doctor, you kind of have to. Like, that's an over a decade long process to be an actual true doctor that you want to be. He's, let's just say, I don't even know, I'm just averaging it, about 6 years in med school, and then he's 2.5 years into his residency, or you can still do residency when you're in med school, so he's 24. So yeah, he's been doing this for about 6-7 years now, and he hasn't even thought ahead to like see what he actually wants to do. He really doesn't seem too interested in what he wants to spend the rest of his life doing. He really didn't seem too enthused about the future, and I feel like that's really gonna hit him later on in life. I don't know if he's the type of person ignorant to the fact that you can choose your own destiny. I hate to use stereotypes, but I do feel as if you see it. Wealthier households, they kind of breed their children to go into other wealthy or high earning careers. I feel like wealthy households oftentimes don't give a child the actual opportunity to choose what he or she likes in this world. I feel like they send them down a path of just, make a lot of money and do this so you can buy this and buy that. They don't really train a child to choose something based off of happiness. It's either send them down a career path that's going to make them a lot of money but maybe not be something that they're as passionate about, or send them to school for a fucking liberal arts degree and throw a Hail Mary and hope for the best. And I think it's bad. I think a lot of wealthy people are disconnected from inside here, their emotions. They don't understand that they should live life being happy. I feel like a lot of them are just set on the fact that you should live life just trying to make X amount of money and add on to that amount of money each year. It's like a fucked up game to them. I don't know if it gives them confidence, if it gives them drive to make money, but I feel as if a lot of those people end up being miserable towards the end of their life. Like, imagine you're on your deathbed and you're thinking about the things you did with your life. Are you really going to be happy if you spent your entire life selling real estate and getting tied up with paperwork your entire life, or being a divorce lawyer? You spent your entire life looking at divorce after divorce after divorce, killing your perception of marriage for what money? That's what passions you? What little kid, or even someone your age, my age, is like, yeah, my dream is to freaking help people divorce. Let's go. Like, nah, you did that for money. And when you're old and hopefully 80, 90, hopefully even older, either you're going to be too ignorant to think about the things you could have done, or you will sit there in resentment for thinking back at the years you wasted just doing something for money. I'm not one of those people who are saying money's a horrible thing. Money's a great thing. I fucking love money. I want to buy a Lambo one day. I want to buy a giant ass house, but I want to earn that doing the things I love to do. I think I've found that passion. YouTube, it makes me happy to talk into a camera. It makes me happy to share my ideas and opinions. It makes me a better talker. It makes me more communicative to people, and it helps the words just come out of my brain faster, which I do like. I'm not just a dope. Yeah, you really need to find something you're passionate about to find happiness in this world. I know it's hard to do that, okay? I've been through it. I understand that it's kind of hard to drop everything you're doing and think about trying to do something you're happy with. It's embarrassing at first, but once you come to terms with it and realize being embarrassed about it is stupid, you feel a lot better about it. What's worse? Confronting your significant other or parents, telling them you're not happy with this career path, that you're only a year or two, or maybe even a fucking decade. Still keep in mind what is worse. Let's just say worst comes to worst, you're a decade, maybe even more into whatever kind of career you're in, and you're miserable. Just for an easy number, let's say you're 30. You've been on the same career path since you were 20 years old, but you find yourself getting more miserable year after year. You're scared your fiance or your wife or your family, your parents are gonna be disappointed in you, or doubtful of your intelligence, or just don't believe in you. If you were to tell them that you wanted to try something you wanted to follow your passion, who the fuck are they to judge you? Number one, they're not gonna. They're your family. As long as they're good people, they're gonna support you and they're gonna want you to do whatever the hell you want to do, okay? If they are not supportive, if your wife is not supportive, your parents are not supportive, they are either ignorant or they're people you shouldn't surround yourself around. I'm sorry, I know they're your family, but if they are not supportive of you, just because you're blood does not mean they are correct and deserve to feel how they feel about you. The only person who has a right to choose how your life goes is you. What's worse? That, or expressing your opinions and beliefs and expressing what you want to do in this world and facing maybe a little bit of embarrassment that probably won't even happen, and choosing and going on and moving on to a career that you can also work really hard on and be happy doing it. Which is worse? Fucking living a shitty ass life with a shitty ass career, making somewhat okay money, or even if it's good money, making good money, living a shitty life, or starting over again and building and working your way to perfection. It's going to take a while, but eventually making money doing so. Or if the thing you're doing that doesn't necessarily make money, at least you are happy doing it. Find a way to make money if you're passionate about money. It's okay to not make money. People who make money are passionate about it. People who don't make money have other values and either don't know how to make money or they don't care about that. They understand that money isn't everything. They are happy finding something that makes them happy. You need to start living your true self. You need to start being vulnerable with those around you. You need to stop being so self-conscious about trying to pursue what actually makes you happy in this world. You will live a life of misery if you live someone else's truth. Live your own truth and stick to your own goals and desires.